Yes.
Hi,
Hello.
Michaela.
Thanks for
Welcome.
being here.
Yes.
We're gonna give people, I think, a little more time to roll in, but please introduce yourself in the chat. We're happy you're here.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Yes.
If you're feeling brave.
Mhm.
We're gonna have a gay old time today. You'll learn more, but the sneak preview is we are going to be screening an episode of our documentary series for you. And our friend Junior is in the series, and we'll get to ask her questions about her experience and what life's been like after the series and all that good stuff. So we're glad you're here. We're just talking about this party in Brooklyn on Sunday and how none of the trains work. And maybe you can tell us where all right, sounds so amazing. Where are you from? Where are you joining us from, Michaela? And take your time, of course. I'm from Chicago originally. In San Antonio, Texas.
Oh,
very cool.
Yeah, such a beautiful place.
I know. Wow. I'm like, this conference is all mostly younger people, and so we just Marilyn entered. Marilyn in the house. Nice to meet you, Marilyn.
Hello.
Saying hello.
This really feels like I'm hosting a party, and I'm like, hi. But they can't really talk back to me, which is fine. Which I feel normal about.
Feeling at home.
Yeah. Michaela, is this like, is school in session and you're able to just like do this instead of school today? That's pretty fun.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I'm going to like try to make a GIF.
Ooh. You're more technologically savvy than I am.
I'm going to try one that says welcome.
What do y'all think? Maybe your boss had you join a bunch of different sessions today instead of working. Oh, nice.
Heck yes.
Love that. I did a little Simpsons character waving at everyone. I hope you enjoy that. Marilyn, happy to see you too. If you click session up top where it says event, my agenda session, you click session and then you click chat, you'll be able to chat with us, which is kind of fun. Thanks for waving back, Michaela and Junior. Should we get started?
I think so. Let's do it.
Let's jump in.
I'm on it. Yay. Hey, Marilyn.
Hello,
I just wanted to say hi as a guest in my little
Awesome. Yeah, let's get started and then we can see who else joins us. But thanks everyone for being here. We're so excited to share a little bit about our video series Queer to Queer with you. Maybe we can all like start by introducing ourselves.
That sounds good.
Yeah. My name is Julie Sandler. I use she, her pronouns. I'm a filmmaker and impact producer based in Queens, New York. And we can kind of talk about how we got Queer to Queer to get started a couple of years ago, but I'll just leave it there for now and let my friends introduce themselves too.
Go for it, Junior.
Okay. Hi, I'm Junior, pronouns she, her. I am a Brooklyn-based drag performance artist, activist, and a drag preacher. I like to curate, cultivate, and support queer and trans youth. And for me, I am always very thankful to get to be a Black trans woman who gets to share her lived experience in her life and hopefully get to lay a bit of a trail that you can blaze later on in life.
Love it. I'm Emma. Oh my gosh, we have someone else joining us. Hey, Felipe. I'm Emma. I use they, them, or she, her pronouns, and I am a media producer and facilitator at the Future Perfect Project, which we'll tell you more about later. And I'm also a songwriter, singer-songwriter, and sometimes comedian who likes to perform all throughout the city in Brooklyn, New York, and always infusing myself and my queerness into everything I do. Also, fun fact, I have type 1 diabetes. So if anyone is dealing with a chronic illness in the chat, I'm sending you love and I'm here for you. And I get it.
Amazing. Oh my gosh. Fantastic. I'm so excited we have a couple more people here. So basically, we wanted to share this video series that we created with you. As I mentioned, it's called Queer to Queer. And it features a bunch of intergenerational conversations between queer youth and queer elders. Emma, do you want to maybe talk a little bit about why we decided to make this series? And I can talk about Cured as well.
Yeah. So I work at the Future Perfect Project. We're a nonprofit that believes that the artistic expression of queer youth is a declaration of a better future for us all. So where they're seen and heard and celebrated and witnessed, we're all better off. Junior has been one of our guest facilitators and bringing all the writing love and drag love and creative love to the young people we work with. Yay, thank you for tuning in.
Oh my God.
And so basically, we think young people are living in a future that has not yet arrived. And so the best thing we can do is hand them the mic and let them express themselves through the arts. And that can be conversations and interviews. And we have a podcast. And so we really focused on interviews as sort of the artistic channel of queer youth expression. But we also brought in queer elders into the mix. And that's where Cured comes in.
Yeah. And so, as I mentioned before, I'm a filmmaker. And so I've been working on this documentary called Cured for the last few years. It chronicles this campaign in the 70s to remove the diagnosis of homosexuality from the American Psychiatric Association's Manual of Mental Illnesses. And so during the production process, we really focused on interviewing the folks who were instrumental in making this change happen. And as you can imagine, since this fight was happening back in the 70s, many of the folks who were involved and who we actually interviewed in the film have since passed away. And so I've been really inspired listening to these queer elders and hearing their stories and just hearing how they were, so brave in fighting these fights for us, especially when queerness was not as, public. And so we have been over the past few years basically like hosting screenings of the film. And in the process of doing that, we got connected with Emma and the Future Perfect Project, and FPP ended up hosting a screening of Cured. And then we were just talking and we decided it might be a good idea to kind of get on a call together since we are, in touch with quite a few queer elders and FPP is in touch with queer youth. And so we kind of brainstormed and we're trying to think about, if we could collaborate in some way. And we happened on this idea of bringing together queer youth and queer elders to have intergenerational conversations. And I think one of the main things we were talking about in those initial conversations was how rare it is for there to be these sorts of spaces where queer youth and queer elders can commune together and talk about their experiences and their stories. And I think we found through creating this series that was something that is really important, and we hope to kind of continue to encourage down the line, especially by screening this series. So, yeah.
I'm curious for folks in the chat, just like a sort of like icebreaker warm-up question. Do you have any friends from, a different generation or anybody you're in community with, discuss with that's in a different generation? And it's okay if the answer is no. I feel like you do. Okay, I would love to hear about them and let's like celebrate them. I didn't realize I knew it was important to have connections outside of your generation, especially the older generations. But I think working on this series really solidified it for me. And also that young people, even though they haven't been around as long, there's still wisdom there to learn from. And so I just love this wisdom exchange and also the lessons we can learn from folks who have been through it. Because the fact of the matter is, queer people have always existed. And this series is, I guess, the first step in my life of trying to
Mhm.
make sure these generations are never separated and we're never kept from each other's knowledge.
Mhm.
Um, Junior, how about you? Yeah, wisdom
Mhm.
exchange. Thank you.
Exactly. I I completely agree. I think that for me, it's all because of my queer and trans elders that I was able to understand my own transness, because I didn't really get to be around queer elders until I was in drag dressing rooms, because within drag there's so many different groups of performers. There's performers who've been doing it since the 90s that I would be in a dressing room with, and they'd be the people who would help me to actually be able to name how I was feeling, to be able to like talk about how I'm feeling that day and then be like, that's body dysmorphia. And it's so beautiful because we're all a part of the same tapestry. And it only behooves everybody to learn what the full tapestry is actually made of. And when you actually understand what is made of all the tapestry, which includes the threads that were laid before you can understand better what you can make going down the line. And
Mm.
so I think these intergenerational conversations are so essential to understand where we can go and how we can keep pushing forward as a community. Yeah, that's
Well
kind of how I
said.
feel.
That's kind of how I
Mhm.
feel too.
Mhm.
You always say how the collective's feeling, I think.
I'm honored to be a mouthpiece.
So what are we about to watch, Julie?
Excellent question. So we are going to watch one of the 4 episodes of Queer to Queer. This is number 3 in the series, and it features our wonderful panelist and collaborator,
Mhm.
Junior, as the queer youth in the conversation. And Junior had an opportunity to speak with Kyler Broadus, who is the queer elder in this episode. I almost don't want to spoil the conversation, but maybe should we give a bit of background about Kyler?
Um, you'll learn more about Kyler, but I will
Yes.
say Kyler and Junior, I consider they're both activists with different approaches.
Mm.
Junior, and tell me if this feels true to you. Your activism is through your artistic expression and through your drag performance and also through just being in the streets. Like I see you at every action. And
Mhm.
then Kyler's more through the legislative and like governmental action
Mhm.
of like how do we cement this into our law and our protections. And so I think the best part of this interview is watching the two of you come together and do that wisdom exchange like we were saying, but from your different worlds, but same outcome and same goals.
Mhm. I I completely agree. And I think it's so important for everybody to be activated in ways that feel best for them. And no matter what, as long as we're activated, we're all fighting for the same cause. And that was one of the most beautiful things to get to experience in the conversation, was how we're both talking about the exact same fight, but using our powers in whatever way we feel most suits us. And so,
Mm.
yes, it's really beautiful to witness and understand that fighting can mean so many different things.
All right, let's watch these superpowers in action.
Yeah, let's do
It's
it.
giving me the
Ah,
option to share a YouTube video. So can everyone see this and
ooh,
hear it? I'm just going to do it this way then.
perfect.
Wow, it really doesn't get old.
Oh, oh my God. Oh my God.
How does it feel for you, Junior, to watch it back?
Yeah, especially a few years later. We filmed this in 2021.
Yeah, it makes me very emotional. It makes me very emotional because yeah, I'm very proud of myself because to look back and now be able to be 30 years old and say, "Oh my God, I can't believe that like that was me and I was able to articulate how clearly I felt." Like sometimes you can surprise yourself. And I was looking back and just wanted to like give younger me a hug and be like, I love you so much. And for me, getting to meet Kyler truly was a very pivotal day in my life. And for me, get that conversation was another reflection of me learning even more about my own power and how deeply who I am is reflected in so much of my community where I'm like, oh my God, I hope to I hope to be fighting a tenth as hard as Kyler is when I get to his age. Like I oh yes, to see my Black trans elders, I'm meeting my superheroes. I am meeting the people who fought for me to exist exactly as I'm existing now. And it makes me want to fight even harder for the queer and trans youth we have today. So yes, it's all the feelings.
I also feel like you said those are your superheroes. They're almost like my celebrities. It's like the reason we're here. It's like those are the people you hear stories about, and like
Mm-hmm.
that's like our lore. That's where we come from, and so that's it's just so exciting. And I certainly see you, Junior, as like you and other people feel this way. Like you are our generations, like
Superheroes.
Kyler or Reverend Kennedy or yeah. And
Reverend
we have
Kennedy.
Marilyn in the chat saying, Junior, your uniqueness, or as you say, your power is in your ability to listen and grow the responses that are being shared.
Thank you. That means the world to me because I praise every connection that I get to have with a person, and I try to truly engage and truly get to like see all of them. And so, thank you. I so appreciate it.
Curious what else from the episode resonated for people in the chat. I'd love to hear what specifically. But in the meantime,
I
Junior.
see Marilyn had one more question.
Oh
Not
yeah.
to interrupt. This segment is so powerful. I'm wondering who is your audience, who's watching these videos? I feel like we all might have different answers. So, Julie,
Mhm.
the filmmaker in the room, who do you want to watch these?
Who do I want to watch Q2Q? I mean, I think obviously everybody should watch it, but I think it's really especially powerful to have these conversations preserved, especially since I mentioned before that our queer elders are slowly passing away. One of the other interviewees, Reverend Magora Kennedy, passed away in fall of 2023, and I'm so glad that we have her conversation sort of memorialized. But I think it's really important for us queer youth to, be watching these conversations in particular. I think it can be easy, and I'm speaking from my own experience, to kind of, go about, my day to day life and not think too much about what our queer elders had to fight for, and I think it's a great way to kind of remind ourselves like where we came from and where we're going, and also to kind of get an like jolts of inspiration to keep fighting, because I think it can be really easy, especially with the backlash that we're facing in the queer community right now, to become exhausted and to kind of become um, to lose hope, and to let that affect the way that you engage in the community and your action. So I think as a queer person myself, it's been really helpful as like a reminder to keep going. But yeah, I think everyone should watch Q2Q. Maybe I'm a little biased, but
I think the
I
tough thing I'm thinking about, and let me know if any younger people in the chat agree, it's hard to get someone to sit down and watch a full length,
Mm,
even if it is only, if it only runs 13 minutes. And so I feel like the people I most want to watch it, which are the younger generations, might not have the patience to sit through videos, or that they might, but it might not be the thing they first automatically go to. They might be going towards short form content. So my hope is that the clips we've posted and the short little tastes of the series um, will encourage the young people who stumble upon them to watch the whole thing.
Mhm.
yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that the queer youth seeing this is really important, and I also think that along with them, parents of queer kids, it
Mm,
because I think in ways that like you were saying, Emma, it may be more difficult for a younger person to want to engage with it. I think that watching a video like this as a parent is a beautiful way to understand different ways that you can teach your kid about like their history, the legacy, individuals who have been fighting for their existence, and allow them to be able to even be like, okay, well, here's how I can like have my kid sit down and watch this. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Mhm. I like that,
Mhm.
of having the parent be an equal or even more excited partner in getting their child to learn about their own history.
right.
Mhm.
Especially since
Mhm.
queer history is rarely taught in school. So I think, yeah, it's definitely very important. Um,
Mhm.
Also, just another note is that the whole series is available to watch on YouTube for free. So feel free to share that link. We have the link in the chat. If you scroll up a little bit, we can repost it as well. And we also have a partnership with this amazing distributor called Out TV. So the series also lives there as well, and that channel is specifically for queer content. So we have a partnership with them as well. But yeah, feel free to share the series. We're always wanting to spread it as much as we can. Um, yeah.
Should we have some questions for you, Junior, and maybe
Mhm.
questions we could all answer as
Mhm.
the creators behind the series, co-creators with you. And if any of you have questions, please leave them in the chat. There are no bad questions. We would love to answer
Mhm.
them. For Junior, I know how much you enjoyed getting to know Kyler, and it did feel like, meeting your superhero and being in community. But was there anything that surprised you, or like watching it back, that you weren't expecting to learn from Kyler, or weren't expecting to discover about this person?
I think the most surprising thing that I learned was the the ways that the lived trans experience is the same still.
Hmm.
Like, because I think that in my head, I do have, ever since being in dressing rooms with like my trans and queer elders, I've make it a point of putting myself in situations for those conversations. And so there were certain things I was expecting to hear where I was like, okay, I know about like the legalization, the criminalization that existed like 50 years before in different ways than it does now. But to hear about the emotional response and to know that like the same way that he was mentioning his dad being like his shield, that was my mom for me. And
Hmm.
like my dad was like his mom, where I was like, it was so interesting to see those overlaps, and also the ways that the same resilience and fight existed within both of us. And I see how the legacy of Black trans power exists within me. And so I just wasn't expecting such like, oh no, mirrored experiences. And yeah, and even down to the clothing. It's something where I was like, oh my God, not us both having this exact same shared experience. I thought it would be different in some way. But I would say that would be the most surprising, was how similar. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's like some things never change.
mhm, exactly. And that's why it's so important to have these conversations, because our history is actively, consistently being erased. And so it's like, without those conversations, I wouldn't have been able to learn that, like, oh no, everything that I feel is so is so right. From the dysmorphia to everything, it is so right. And I can look back at my ancestors and my elders and say, oh yeah, no, this isn't just like a me thing. This is an us thing.
Yeah, that's like when you are like watching maybe something that's like inappropriate with family and they're like, I was young once too. It's like, yeah, we were all young once. And I think the other cool thing is that I was so surprised by is how beautiful it is to see queer elders, like that age group, literally just their existence of, because we don't have a lot of examples as queer people what it looks like to grow old
At all.
for many reasons. So that was the most beautiful thing. And also how excited they were to get to know us as the younger generation. I have such reverence for the older generations, and I'm like, what do they want to do with little old me? But it's like they're people and they want to connect. They want connection as much as we want connection. Any intergenerational conversation can be seen as capturing missing pages of history. That is spot on, Marilyn. I couldn't agree more.
100%.
I'm proud that the series can be like a small part of that history.
Definitely.
I hope.
Yes.
Yeah.
Julie, what surprised you?
Yeah, good question. I think what surprised me was the willingness of the elders in the series to learn about like how activism happens now. Like I think their curiosity, and I think a lot of the time we can think of like elder folks as sort of being at a standstill or like static, and my sort of thoughts about that were completely transformed during this series, and the fact that these folks are just so interested in learning about young people and how they're engaging with their activism and communities. And so I think that was the most surprising element for me in my ignorance about older folks. But yeah, I think there's so many discoveries to make, really. And I really like the idea of sort of conversations like these being able to reveal portions of history that are have maybe been erased or missing, as you mentioned, Marilyn. I think it's really beautiful to kind of think of it in that way. Yeah.
Do we have any more? We have some more questions, right?
We do have some more questions. Let's see. Oh, this is an interesting one. So, Junior, what do you think are some of the ways that history has sort of repeated itself, and what's something valuable that has been passed down through generations of queer people to you that you think would be helpful for other young queer folks?
I think that okay, it's gonna start off a little sad, but it's gonna get very happy. I think that history is repeating itself in all the ways that it has before. I think that in every single way that you witness cycles throughout history, there's like a period of great change, revolution, pushing forward, and then there comes a pushback. And the pushback comes in whatever new form that society has created. So like, whether it be like a prison industrial complex, whether it be creating food deserts, whether it be toxic waste in specific neighborhoods. There's so many different ways that like push back and fight from society and the government is always evolving. But I think that the one thing that I'm always so proud about my community is that I think that what activists of the past have always taught us is we are always stronger together. It has to be about us fighting against them, against oppression. When we as a community pull together, that's when for example, when I've gone through hard times financially, there are so many different food banks and food related organizations centering queer people that will deliver you groceries. There are so many. A friend of mine just had top surgery, and there's a whole food line up on an Excel spreadsheet of people coming to drop off meals and making sure that they have medical supplies that they need. No matter what, even during protests now, we always have during protests now, we have different people who are there to de-escalate experiences with the police, people who, if you do get arrested, are going to call lawyers that will work on your case pro bono. I say all of this to say we need to stick together as a community and make sure that we uplift the most marginalized within our community. So that means protecting Black and brown trans folks. That means that we are making sure that we are actually making sure protests and resources are accessible to people with disability and those who are elders. It is just all about community. And that is the reason I'm such an optimist, is because no matter what the government, fascist, oppressive companies, organizations, all of it, no matter what they throw at us, if we come together as a community, we will win and we will continue on fighting, because it is their fighting in the past that is the reason why we have PrEP now. It's the reason why we have things in New York like Callan Lord, which is an amazing queer resource for like healthcare. There are so many different, we have the Future Perfect Project because of people like Celeste, because of these queer and trans ancestors. And so that's my whole soapbox, because I will always, always, always have a lot to say when it comes to community, because community, just like Kyler said, is the reason I am still here. Mhm.
Well said. Well said. It is really like always the ultimate lesson in community care and mutual aid and showing up for each other is like when I look at the queer community. And I hope I queer people will never ask other people to be queer. That is not the agenda, but our agenda is I'm going to ask you to care for each other in the way that queer people do, because I think it is chef's kiss. It is the cream of the crop. That kind of care is really unlike any other. I have a question for all of you. Oh, Marilyn needs to go beyond what you. Yes, I totally agree. I hope, the queer community is what I know and what I'm a part of. And I really encourage and that's what our organizations focus on. But I really encourage other people to, use the same formula, the same template, because intergenerational conversations in every community need to happen.
I think that was one of the things that was so powerful for me too, listening to the elders in this series, like being able to kind of take their advice and how they've approached their activism and kind of apply that to different segments of fighting against oppression. So I think it's really powerful to kind of be able to take the lessons from the queer community and apply it to many different aspects of life, for sure.
Oh yeah, and I definitely say that for me, like my closest community is the like queer and the Black and trans community, but at the heart of it, we're all connected no matter what, no matter whether you identify as queer, because a straight cis person's actions do impact the community. And so that means that, yeah, in a way, you also are a part of it. So I completely agree. And I think share the link with everybody in your contact list, just not just the queer and trans folks. Send it to your parents, send it to your neighbor.
Agree.
Absolutely. I think we are at time, if I am not mistaken, but I think I believe so. But if anyone wants to add any additional last minute questions to the chat, we'd be happy to quickly answer them.
Thank goodness you're keeping the time, because I'm like, we got 2 more hours, right? Like I'm having fun. I'm chatting with my girls. Like, let's keep it going.
I wish we could go on forever.
Yeah, please watch the rest of the series. I'm going to drop a link to our series website, which is really the landing page for all things.
Yes, we'd definitely be open to having conversations about how to build on this. Do we have an email that I can drop we have a contact link on our Q2Q Talk site. So if you reach out that way, we'll be able to see it. I'm gonna just drop their email.
That's my email. Yeah, and like if you watch the rest of the series, please get in touch with us because we want to hear what you think. And
yes,
Marilyn, that's such a wise and exciting idea of expanding on this series because it's obviously a labor of love. Like we love doing it, and also we think it's so important. And if this format can spread to other communities and other intersections of identity, I would be so happy.
right.
And also for those of you who have queer young people in your lives or love a queer young person, the Future Perfect Project has free online workshops for queer youth and a podcast and all of this media made by queer youth for everybody. So check out our website too, if I can do a little plug. Does anybody else have a plug?
Yeah, and if you're interested in hosting a screening of any of the Q2Q episodes, feel free to reach out to us about that. We've done that before. As I mentioned, I'm also a filmmaker, and I have a few different films that have been released recently. So if you want to reach out and ask about those, I'd be happy to tell you more about those as well.
Yes.
Junior, where are you drag preaching next? Where can we find you? Where can we buy your makeup line?
Yes.
I was just about to say. And so I am typing out okay, so that's my email in case you want to pay me and book me for something. And then that is my Instagram handle underneath if you would like to follow. And so, you are on
I got
it,
you with the
Emma.
hyperlink.
You're amazing. I will be all throughout Brooklyn over the next month. I'm also I'm working with La Mama right now on a show that I'm writing.
Cool.
And so
awesome.
there will be workshops hopefully very soon. And then on top of it, yes, I created one of the first Black trans-owned makeup lines in the world called Minty Makeup. And if you would like to find it and support it, you can find it all in the bio of my Instagram account. So yeah, that's where you can find me. And thank you again to everybody for coming, for engaging, for the questions, for the comments, for the love. It means the world for more eyes to be getting to see this.
And thank you, CFC, for having us. We really appreciate it. It's an honor to be here.
Yes, compassion forever. Compassion does not end with the conference, I hope. We can be compassionate tomorrow and the day after. And and queer. I'm holding up my random shirt. Love you all who tuned in. This really was so special because of you all and your attention and your questions. And let's do more of this. Let's make more together.
Yeah, and enjoy the rest of the conference.
Yeah. Woo! As far as conferences go, like this is a cool one. So
very cool.
Oh yes.
Questions I was looking at Seema also.
Have to agree.
Bye y'all.
Bye everyone. Have a good rest of your day.
Yes. I'm the only one in here. How do I leave? Wait, I feel so. Wait.